Morning. In our daily life, many materials are needed to fulfill our needs. Now, what are these materials? From where these materials are coming? Examples like notebook or pencil. What is its raw material? Notebook is like made up of grass and bamboo, and the pencil is made up of wood and graphite. So, grass, bamboo, wood, graphite, etc. come from nature are called natural resources. So today we will discuss the new topic called natural resources of class 9th. Now what is natural resources? So these are the resources that exist in nature without action of humankind, or the material or substances which occur in nature naturally, which can be exploited for economic growth. Examples: air, water, soil, forest, fossil fuels, etc. These are called natural resources. Now the basic requirement of life form on earth. So the two important things are required. Number one, the resource available on the earth, and the resource available on the earth is called natural resources. Examples: air, water, soil, living organism, etc. Now the second point is solar energy from the sun. So these are the two important things that are very important in our earth. That's why the life exists. Now part of the earth, its outer crust is known as lithosphere. The water covered area is known as hydrosphere, and the air covered area is known as atmosphere. Now these three, lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere, are life supporting zone and known as biosphere. Now the biosphere consists of two important factors or element. One is abiotic and another is biotic. Abiotic, non-living things like air, water, soil, minerals, etc. Now biotic, living things like microbes, plants and animals. These are the biotic things. Now the breath of life, air. Now what is air? Air is a mixture of gases which is composed of different air. So if you will see the composition of air, the nitrogen is 78%, oxygen is 20.9%, argon gases is 0.90%, other gases 0.17%, and carbon dioxide is 0.03%. So this composition of air support the life in our planet. Now in Mars and Venus, no life, because the major component of the atmosphere is carbon dioxide, and its percentage is approximately 95 to 97%. Now all the living organisms breathe air. Despite this, the percentage of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere is less. Why? The reason is that because in our atmosphere the carbon dioxide is fixed in two ways. Now the number one way, all the green plants perform a photosynthesis. Now the photosynthesis is the process where the green plant can able to synthesize their own food with the help of sunlight, carbon dioxide, waters and minerals, and it synthesizes a carbohydrate and oxygen. Now the second is the many marine animals use dissolved carbonate to make their cell and skeleton, and the animals which generally make their cell, they belong from phylum mollusca. Now role of atmosphere in climate control. Now if you can see the role of atmosphere in climate control, air is great conductor of heat, and that maintain the average temperature during day and night time, and it prevent the sudden increase or decrease of temperature during day and night respectively. In moon, no atmosphere, therefore the temperature ranges from minus 190 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. Now the movement of air form wind. Now how the wind is formed? So wind is Now during daytime, the sea breeze is formed. Now how the sea breeze is formed? Now if you will see, the land heated faster than the sea. If you will compare between the sea and the land heated faster than the sea. The air above the land gets heated faster and start rising and create a low pressure. So air move from sea to low pressure, that means from higher pressure to lower pressure, and this movement of air creates a wind, and that wind is known as a sea breeze. Now night time, it forms a land breeze. So during night time, both land and water start cool. Air above the water would be warmer than the air above the land and develop a low pressure above the sea. So therefore the air moves from land and higher pressure toward the low pressure, and that form a land breeze. Now rain formation. How the rain formation occur? So first water body is heated. Then hot air carrying the water vapor rise above. This hot air first expand and cools and causing water vapor to condense into tiny droplets. Now the suspended particles like dust act as nucleus. When the nucleus combined with tiny droplet, it forms the water droplet. Now water droplet, when it becomes big and heavy, it falls down in the form of rain or snow when the atmospheric pressure or the atmospheric temperature is too low. So there are the three important processes are involved. One is evaporation, second one is condensation, and third one is precipitation. Now the next, air pollution. Now what is air pollution? If any undesirable changes in the physical, chemical or biological characteristics of air is called air pollution. Now the causes of air pollution. So the main causes of the air pollution is burning of fossil fuel in different industries, even in automobile, and that release carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide and oxides of nitrogen and sulfur. Now this oxide of nitrogen and sulfur, when it reacts with rainwater, then it forms a acid rain. Because we know that when the water is react with oxide of nitrogen, it forms a nitric acid, and when the water is combined with sulfur or react with sulfur, it forms a sulfuric acid, and in this manner it forms a acid rain. Now due to combustion of fossil fuel also, it also releases the unburned hydrocarbon particles, and that form a smoke. And if we will inhale continuously, that cause a different type of respiratory disease like bronchitis, asthma, even it can cause a lung cancer. Now in winter season, when that smoke combined with fog, it forms a smog, and that reduce the visibility and that increase the chances of accident. Now the next, water a wonderful liquid. If you will see the distribution of water, the 75% of our earth that covered by the water, that is called hydrosphere. Only 2.5% is fresh water, and this fresh water also the 2% that occur in the form of polar ice or in glaciers ice sheet form. Less than 1% of the water are occur in the river, lake or groundwater. Now many sources of water are contaminated with industrial waste or sewage. Because of this reason, we should conserve water. Now importance of water. Now if you see the importance of water, the water act is medium for life process, because the different life process we perform with the help of water, like digestion of food, circulation of blood. The water is very essential. Now this water, it is a universal solvent because it can able to dissolve many solute. Now the transport many things to different body part like hormone, because to transfer the hormone the medium is required, and the medium is the blood, and the blood density can be maintained by the water. Now we depend on water for many activities like cooking, agriculture, transportation and production of hydropower, etc. Then water also maintains the cell shape. Now next, water pollution. If any physical, chemical or biological changes in the quality of water affecting living organisms and making unfit for use, such type of water will be known as polluted water. Now the causes of polluted water. Due to addition of undesirable substances like sewage. The sewage generally released from the town or it released from the industries. Then also addition of fertilizer. If you will add a fertilizer, then it causes a eutrophication. Now how it causes a eutrophication? Because when we use a fertilizer in the agriculture field, then due to or when the rain will be occur, that will wash the excess amount of fertilizer and that will get deposited in the aquatic habitat and that cause a rapid blooming of algae. That phenomenon is known as eutrophication. So two important fertilizers cause a eutrophication. One is phosphorus and another is nitrogen. Now the next, due to addition of pesticides, it also causes water pollution and also cause a biomagnification. Now what is biomagnification? Bio means light, magnification means to increase. So with increasing in food chain, the concentration of toxic substance will be increased. That phenomenon is known as biomagnification. Then another causes of water pollution, that is the removal of desirable substances. Like if the dissolved oxygen and minerals will get removed and that are generally removed or consumed by the algal bloom or the aquatic plant, then that also deteriorates the quality of water and become problem for the aquatic organism. And that organism, if it will be die, then it will enhance the water pollution. Now the third point is change in temperature. If hot water is discharged from the thermal power plant, then it may cause or it may affect the breeding in animal because it causes the death of eggs, larvae and small animals which occur in the water. Now soil. What is soil? So soil is the upper layer of earth crust is known as soil. Now if you will see the composition, it contains small particles of rocks, humus, microbes and mineral nutrient. Now the type of soil or the quality of soil is depend upon its composition. Now the quality of soil also decides the biodiversity of life in an area. Now the next is topsoil. Now what is topsoil? The topmost layer of soil that contains humus and living organism is called topsoil. Now what is humus? So humus is the dead part of the plant and animals that get decomposed on the surface of the soil is called humus. Now what is the importance of humus? It makes the soil more nutrient rich. It makes the soil more nutrient rich. It also improves the water holding capacity in sandy soil. They also provide porous and allow water and air to penetrate. Therefore, the topsoil decides the biodiversity of life in an area. Now the formation of soil. There are the different factors which are involved in the formation of soil. So the first factor, that is the sun. Daytime what happens? The rocks hits up and expand. Nighttime the rocks cool down and the rocks also get contract. Now due to uneven expansion and contraction form cracks on the rocks and help in formation of soil. Now how the water also help in formation of soil? The water help in formation of soil in two ways. Number one, when the water enter into the cracks in the rock, which if freeze widen the creek. Then number two, the water carries big and small particles place to another place, and in this manner help in formation of soil. Now the living organisms are also involved in formation of soil, like lichen. What is lichen? The lichen is the symbiotic relationship between algae and fungi. So these lichen release the chemicals and cause the rock surface to powder down and form a thin layer of soil. Mosses, they grow on the rock surface and cause the rocks to break down. Now even the big tree, its long root crack the rock as the rocks grow bigger and crack found bigger. Now soil pollution. If any physical, chemical or biological changes occur in soil, it is called soil pollution. Now causes of soil pollution. Number 1, the removal of essential component like humus, minerals, iron and microbes, etc. If this component will get removed, then it decrease the soil quality or decrease the soil fertility, and in this manner it become unfit for the plant. Now the next is addition to other substances like pesticides, chemofertilizer that kill essential microbes and earthworm, and that also decrease the soil fertility. Now soil erosion, that is the process of removal of fertile topsoil due to climatic and physical process is called soil erosion. Now cause of soil erosion. Number 1, like strong wind that cause a soil erosion. Overgrazing, improper tilling, frequent flooding and deforestation. Now prevention, intensive cropping or proper drainage canal around the field, practicing press farming in hilly region, and the 4th point is plantation. Now biogeochemical cycle, that is the cyclic flow of nutrient between abiotic and biotic factor is called biogeochemical cycle, like example carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, oxygen cycle and water cycles. Now it's make a dynamic and stable ecosystem. So first we will discuss water cycle. So first what happens, the water evaporates from the water bodies and move upward. Then the vapor condenses and form rain droplet and again flow back into water bodies. These water used by plants and animals for various life process. And the living organism also release water through transpiration and respiration, and it goes to the atmosphere. Again it will form the clouds and again there will be a rain. So in this manner there is the cyclic flow of water between abiotic and biotic factor. Now the nitrogen cycle. So the nitrogen cycle is the cyclic exchange of nitrogen between abiotic and biotic factor is called nitrogen cycle. The nitrogen element is very important because it forms a various biologically important compound like nucleic acid, vitamin, protein, alkaloids and urea too. Then 78% of atmospheric nitrogen directly cannot utilized by the plants and animals. Therefore, the fixation is occur. Now, if you will see the steps of nitrogen cycle, the first step of nitrogen cycle is nitrogen fixation. And during nitrogen fixation, the atmospheric nitrogen is changed into nitrates and nitrite. Now, the 3 sub-factors are involved: biological, physical and chemical. In biological, rhizobium bacteria. These bacteria occur in the root nodules of leguminous plant. And along with that bacteria, BGA, blue-green algae, that also help in fixation of atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates and nitrites. Now physical, lightning, which is occur during rainfall. So during lightning what happens? The oxides of nitrogen is converted to nitric and nitrous acid. and these fertilizers are occur in soluble form that can absorb by the plant. Now the second is aminification, that is the release ammonia from dead organism by bacteria and fungi. That phenomenon is called ammonification. Ammonification, because we know that the plants and animals are having a specific lifespan. If they will be died, then they will get decomposed and from their body it will release the ammonia called ammonification. Now the next is nitrification. So nitrification, that is the process of conversion of ammonia into nitrites and nitrates with the help of nitrobacter and nitrosomonas bacter. That phenomenon is called nitrification. Now the last one is denitrification. So the nitrate present in the soil is reduced to nitrogen, and that nitrogen is again flow back to the atmosphere. And the nitrogen which is released from the soil by the bacteria, that is Pseudomonas and Thiobacillus. So in this manner there is a cyclic exchange of nitrogen is occurred between abiotic and biotic factors. Now the next is carbon cycle. Now what is carbon cycle? So carbon cycle is the cyclic exchange of carbon between abiotic and biotic factor is called carbon cycle. Now carbon in our atmosphere occur in various forms like elemental form, graphites, diamond, and in combined form, that is carbon dioxide and carbonate, etc. Now the carbon is also involved in formation of biological compounds like nucleic acid, protein, carbohydrates, fats and vitamins. Even the endoskeleton and exoskeletons are also made up of carbonate salt. Now if you will see the cycle, the maximum carbon dioxide, maximum carbon in our atmosphere is occur in the form of carbon dioxide. That carbon dioxide is only fixed by the green plant by photosynthesis. Okay. Now that carbohydrate will be either used by the plant. If the plant will get consumed by the animal in this manner, that carbon is entered inside the animal. We know that the plant and animals are having a specific lifespan. If they will die and buried under the soil, so under a high pressure, it can form a fossil fuel like coal and petroleum. And due to burning of this coal and petroleum, it also releases the carbon dioxide in our atmosphere. Even when the plants and animals, they will respire, perform a respiration, at that time also release the carbon dioxide. And even when they die, they get decomposed, during that time also release the carbon dioxide. The few carbon dioxide will be dissolved in the water and occur in the form of carbonate. And that carbonate is also used in formation of limestone in the sea. And most of the dissolved carbonate are also used by mollusca in the formation of sail. Now the next, greenhouse effect. The absorption of infrared radiation from sun by greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide and thereby increase the temperature of earth. It is called greenhouse effect. It leads to a global warming. During global warming, the temperature of our atmosphere is increased. No doubt it helps to maintain the temperature of our atmosphere. But day by day, when the production of carbon dioxide will increase, the temperature of our atmosphere is also get increased, and that cause a melting of polar ice, and that can increase the water level in the sea. Now oxygen cycle, that is the cyclic exchange of oxygen between abiotic and biotic factor is called oxygen cycle. Now oxygen, it is also essential biological compound like carbohydrate, protein, fats, etc. Also occur in combined form like carbon dioxide, oxide of nitrogen and sulfur, etc. Oxygen used in three processes: combustion, respiration and formation of oxides of nitrogen. And the oxygen returned to atmosphere by photosynthesis. Now if you will see the oxygen cycle, only two important processes are involved. water. That carbon dioxide and water will be used by the green plant during photosynthesis, and they will release the oxygen to the atmosphere, and they also synthesize the organic molecules called glucose. And again this will be used by living organisms. So in this manner it maintains a oxygen cycle. Now ozone layer. So ozone layer, that is the layer of O3 gases present in stratosphere, is called the ozone layer. It absorbs harmful radiation. It absorbs harmful radiation from the sun. It also prevents the entry of harmful radiation in our atmosphere. Main ODS is CFC, form ozone hole. Thinning of ozone layer is known as ozone hole. Now what is ODS? So ODS is ozone depleting substances, and the main ozone depleting substances is chlorofluorocarbon. Now due to formation of ozone hole, it allows the penetration of harmful radiation. When the harmful radiation enter inside our atmosphere, then what happens? What are the effects? It causes a mutation, change in the sequence of DNA. Even it causes skin cancer. It damages our cornea also, and it leads to a permanent blindness. Thank you.